Good morning, friends. Welcome back. Tonight for dinner, I'm making beef and broccoli, and you marinate it all day in the fridge. And this comes together real well, and it's a very delicious dish. And we have it over rice. So let me show you the ingredients. Here I have half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Going in. Over here I have 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and I use this coconut aminos. I don't use the soy. And 1 tablespoon of water. And then you add 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And that's all the marinade you need. Doesn't look like much, but it's really all you need. I always like to get every last drop of the soy sauce, quote unquote. And then you just whisk this. And I'm going to slice. I have a flank steak. It's a little over a pound. And I'm going to slice that very thin. Of course, my dog is going to bark. Doesn't matter what time of day. Just going to make sure you get this all good. I'm going to slice it very thin, and I have it way back in the refrigerator because when it's cold or partially frozen, it's a lot easier to slice. And if you want to slice it thin, you need it to be cold. Alright, so I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to go get my flank steak. Okay. This is my flank steak here. I'm going to take it out of the packet. And what I'm going to do first, and I like to do this with most of my meat. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. My dog cannot see a thing, but her hearing is amazing, and I think it kind of compensates for not seeing, because she could hear, like my husband would say, a squirrel farting in the woods. Anyway, what's going on here? Why is it? Oh, well, they have 2 pieces. Okay, that's odd. But anyway, so let me just dry that off, and I'm going to salt it lightly. Oh, getting the phone. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. Here's my phone. It was my wonderful son. So I'm just going to salt this very, very, very lightly. And then I'm going to let it sit for 10-15 minutes, and this is like gonna tenderize it. It's gonna help the flavor. So I like to do this with chicken. I like to do it with pork, beef, and it really does help. It's almost like when you brine poultry, you know. So I'm gonna let that sit for about 10-15 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna slice it. This one I put here. I'll try and do it as thin as possible. Sometimes I slice it in half this way because I don't like long stringy pieces, but we'll see. So you want to see where the grain of the meat is. Can you see that? The grain is going this way. It's going this way. So I'm going to have to cut it against the grain. It's going this way, so I'm cutting it this way. It's like tempting to cut it this way, but don't, because you'll dry out your meat. You always want to cut it against the grain. And I do it on the side, and I'm okay with little pieces and bigger pieces. And so is my husband, because it's either that or not eating, right? So see, like this one, I'm kind of tempted to cut it in half first, but I'll just I'll just stick with the long pieces. So I always cut it on the side. And this is about how I do it. You could do it thinner. The thinner it is, the quicker it cooks. Watch your fingers. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a big one. Let me see if I can just cut that. Nah, I'll just leave that one. But this is not as cold as I would have liked it. I like to partially freeze it, but I thought if I had it in the back of the fridge, which is really cold, that it was going to be good enough. But nope, it's okay though. It's not as bad as it would be if it was sitting on the counter for 20 minutes. Okay, so here's my meat. I'll do the other part off camera. Just gonna get that big piece of... Okay, I'm just gonna put it in there, and this is gonna marinate until probably around 4 o'clock when I decide to start to make dinner, maybe sooner or later. I'm in my 50s, and as I get older, I like to start cooking dinner at like 3. I don't know, because I just like early dinner. I don't know. I remember, you know, when my kids were young, everything we would eat like 6, 7, 8 o'clock. It was... Anyway, I'm going to put the rest of it in there, and this is going to marinate until I make dinner, which is going to be like 5 hours or more. The longer the better. And this is not the only marinade. There's going to be more soy sauce, garlic, brown sugar. This is just to marinate. We're going to make a sauce later. I'm going to slice the rest of my meat, and I'll see you in a few hours. I'm not sure if I told you the directions. It's early. So you just slice it, you put it in there, you cover it. I cover it with saran wrap, and then you put it in the refrigerator. And then you wait for all the magic to happen. So I'll see you in a few hours. Also, don't forget to cut your broccoli. I like to do it ahead of time, so when it's time for dinner, I don't have to say, oh my God, I forgot the broccoli. So don't forget to cut up your broccoli. And I do it like nice and small little pieces, because I just rather bite into a smaller piece than a big chunky piece. So, okay, see you back there. Okay, I'm back. I have about 2 tablespoons of oil, in my pan, and I'm gonna saute the broccoli, just the broccoli, for a few minutes. So let me grab that. I just rinsed this. Some water in it, so I hope I don't get splattered. So it's just a little, it's just me tonight, so I'm just doing like half of a big head of broccoli. Okay, I'm scared it's got water, so okay, give that's the water. Maybe 2 minutes, and we're going to put it back in, but I don't want to overcook the meat, and this is a good way not to. You cook it, cook it, and then you put it back in at the end. So I'm going to let that cook, but I am going to put some, maybe I'll wait on salt, because we do have moist soy sauce, so you might want to use low sodium if you use soy. Okay, so let that go. I'm going to bring it over here. Okay, in this bowl, I'm going to mix 2 tablespoons brown sugar, 2 tablespoons flour, half a cup of soy. I use coconut aminos. And then the original recipe called for sherry, but I don't have sherry. So I looked it up a long time ago, and it says you can replace this with wine or sherry, and this is healthy. So So I'm going to put in about a half to 1 tablespoon. I think I'll just do the half. And then, see, I always want to get the last drop of that coconut aminos. And then 4 cloves of garlic minced. Okay, and then I gotta get all the garlic. It's all sticky, so I gotta make sure I get it. Nope, I got more here. My favorite part. Just gonna mix it. And I took my meat out of the fridge just to let it sit. You know, I think I need a whisk. Where's my whisk? Oh, I'll use it. Yeah, I took my meat out of the fridge so it could come to room temperature. You want to let it come to room temperature so it's not tough when you cook it. If it's cold, it's going to seize up. You know, it's toughened. Okay. So I just used the bowl. I was going to put it back in. Sorry about that. Oh, I got to get another one. That bowl was out for a reason. Over here, you. I don't want you to burn. So then we're going to put in another tablespoon. Well, that was 2. I'm going to put in about, maybe another 2. Let me see. Yeah, that should be good. And I'm not going to lay my meat out. I'm just going to throw it in there. Because if you laid it out, it would take you forever. Still a little cold, so you know what? I'm just going to wait. I'll be good. Not that cold. Okay, here we go. I can't, well, let me see now. Maybe I should try to do this because it's just, there's so many pieces, you know, I'm not going to be able to. That's the thing. I usually just throw it in there. But then they cook, one cooks more than the other. You know, I don't care. This is too much. Here, I'm just going to throw it in like I usually do. Oh, I'm going to have to turn it up a little bit. And then spread this out, but you see like one, this one's going to get more cooked than this one, but it'll be alright. It's just me anyway tonight, so I don't even know why I'm cooking. I don't have to. And I'm going to do about half of the sauce. Sorry about the noise. Where's the heat? Is the heat going? See, it sounds like it turned off. Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna let this cook, and it'll probably just take a few minutes, and I'll be right back. So, like this here, this one's not cooked. So, you could do what you want. You could throw it all on at once, but you have to be prepared for one being a little overcooked and the other one being not cooked as much. But that's okay. Like I said, this is how I make it all the time, and I've never had any complaints. So, although I don't think my husband's gonna complain, though, because he won't be eating. Like this one. So far it's been 3 minutes. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and then the broccoli will go in. Okay, so I still have a few more pink pieces. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but I'm going to put the broccoli in now, because that's going to cook for another minute or 2 or 3. Depending on how you like the broccoli. I have to cook my broccoli most of the way because I have an autoimmune disease, so I can't have fresh broccoli, which I'd rather have actually. So this is the rest of the sauce. Get every last delicious drop. Love garlic. Yeah, there's more meat than there is broccoli, but that's okay. My husband will eat the leftover meat tomorrow for lunch, probably. Or for snack later tonight, I don't know. And usually, because I have all this delicious goodness at the bottom here, let me turn that down now. I usually use homemade stock, which I don't have. So I could use water, but water is no taste. So I'm going to get some beef broth that I have in the pantry and just put it down. Then I'm just going to scrape all that delicious flavor out. Oh, so right back. And I'm just using the Trader Joe's beef bone broth, just a little. And then that'll scrape up all the goodness. That'll get all the goodness off the bottom, all that flavor. Fond, called fond. It tastes really good with homemade chicken stock when I do it, but this will probably be just as good. Yeah, whenever you have a chance to, I'm gonna let this go a little bit longer. To add, whenever you're adding liquid, I mean, unless you are low sodium and you need to be low sodium, you can use water, but most of the time, you know, water has no flavor. So I always add a flavorful stock, you know, broth. So, you know, just try not to use water unless you need to for dietary reasons, you know, just sodium and calories. Oh my goodness, this looks good. I just got to make sure that the broccoli is cooked all the way. Of course, that's going to take a minute, so I'm going to turn it off. Be back. Well, I just turned the heat off. I'm going to let this sit here a minute. I just tasted a broccoli piece, and I'm going to move it. Taste it for you. My pleasure. I just want to tell you while I'm waiting for the rice, I just took a bite of this. The broccoli is still a little well, the word isn't al dente because it's more than al dente. I don't know, but it's a little hard, but I'm still gonna eat it. Just one little piece. This meat is so tender, and I don't know if you could just tell by the way. No, you can't because it's not warm anymore, but it's so tender. Let me show you. And I think a lot of it has to do with salting it before I cook it. Well, see, now I'm going to show that to you, and it's going to be the opposite. Never mind. I'll just eat it instead. Hey, it's that time, my favorite time. I just put some rice in a bowl and nothing fancy. I mean, you could mold it, like put it in a, what do you call them? Like a little bowl and mold it if you want, but I'm not like that. Maybe if we were having company, but it's just me tonight, so. Here. A little bit. It's a little sticky now because I had it sitting in the pan, and it's gonna the rice will heat the meal. But this is my meal. This is my delicious little beef and broccoli, and I'll leave the recipe down below. And I hope you had fun spending time with me. And if you could, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.